Man, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Hopefully, everybody is doing well. Please let everybody know we're getting ready to talk, cry out stuff. And man, I love talking to my guests. I absolutely love it. I love reading your comments. I love finding out where you're from. This has been so good. So just let everybody know that we're on. Tell me where you're from. Puerto Rico. Now that ain't fair. That is not fair at all. Shout out to Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Jerry, what's going on?
What's going on, my brother?
Man, I just asked everybody where they were from. The first comment I read was somebody from Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Puerto Rico. So I don't know whether to be mad at them because they living in Puerto Rico or to be happy for them. Man, how you been, man?
I've been good, bro.
Man,
It's been a lot going on. I'm definitely ready to break, but it's
yeah,
been good. It's
yeah,
been
man. I understand. Listen, Kenya's on, Minnesota's on, North
wow.
Carolina.
Wow.
Somebody just said Pastor Jerry, and they put, oh, Pastor J, 4 E's and 6 Y's. So they call you Pastor J. What's up? Hawaii is on, South
Love.
Africa,
Yeah.
Arkansas. Man, you brought everybody out. Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
So I'm going to have a conversation for those of you all who are here with my good friend, my brother, Pastor Jerry Flowers. Listen, this guy is absolutely incredible. And when somebody's incredible like that, your sentence got to slow down and have a different syncopation.
Wow.
And I came across Pastor Jerry some time ago just online, like everybody else. Saw this little young gun just slinging the word and killing it. And then we got a chance to be acquainted and became brothers. And
Yeah.
so, man, I just want to let you know going forward, man, I really honor your gift and I really appreciate you, man.
Thank you, bro. I honor you too, man. And you actually changed my life, bro. When we met in Dallas, what was that, like 2 or 3 years ago? And just the your hospitality and just allowing me to get in rooms that I possibly never would have got in, man. It's you are incredible, bro.
Wow.
You are incredible, man. And I just my wife and I said it. Even when we went to cry, what, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Just your heart, man, for people and your heart for the Lord has been amazing. So yeah, I don't think I ever had that conversation with you. Like, man, ever since we met and just the people that you've introduced me to changed everything.
Wow, man.
Yeah. No
I,
cap either.
I,
I'm not just saying that. I'm
I'm,
serious.
I'm, man, I'm at a loss for words, because I've seen you over the last year, man. You've preached that. Oh my God, Transformation Church.
Yes.
Man, you just been moving, and I have no doubt whether the Lord used me as a conduit or not, man. Your gift made room for you, bro. Like you are gifted. You are amazing. I remember when we were able to bless your ministry, I think that was 2 years ago,
Hmm.
tangibly blessing you has blessed us many times over because I know what good ground looks like. I know what good
Yeah.
seed looks like. And so, man,
Yeah.
I'm just honored to be your brother, man. You
Likewise.
know, let's have a conversation because, you kill the internet daily in and around relationships.
Yeah.
Like that space, like you really, really, really own it, man. And when we were in the room and everybody, listen, first of all, let me say we're talking Cry Out Conference 2025. Pastor Jerry Flowers is going to be one of our speakers. You can go to cryoutcon.com and register right now. I am told, our staff told us today that tickets are going fast, and we've got about 40 days, less than 40 days to get there. So, they're coming from all over the place. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, 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 if you have any urge, any desire to come, go ahead and get that ticket right now. And also, if you go to the website, I want to let you know, and I'm going to mention this several times throughout the conversation. We heard you, we heard you, we heard you. Pastor Jerry, some folks was like, man, I can't come for the whole conference because I don't get off to Friday, or I got to leave Saturday because I got to be back in my church, and I don't really want to register for the whole conference if I can only be there. We heard you. So what we're going to do is we're going to offer day passes. So if you can come on Friday, there's a day pass for Friday. If you can come Saturday, there's a day pass for Saturday. And you want to make sure you're, at least if you can get a day pass, you want to come for Saturday because in conjunction with all of the ministers, that's going to be the conference Cry Out After Hours, where you also get the concert at night with Kirk Franklin and Madison Ryan Ward. So please, please, please go ahead and get your tickets. Man, you kill In and Out this relationship thing. And you said something about women getting more attention. Do you remember saying something like that? In and around women getting more attention. I can't remember what it was, and I told myself I was going to remember. So let me rephrase it this way: when it comes to the attention that men get and the attention that women need, just kind of break down what's the difference between gender differences and
Yeah.
what does the man need and what does the woman need.
Yeah. Well, most of the time, especially in the church space, a lot of times messages cater more to the emotional response from the sisters. On the other side, the men are like, listen, I need some clarity. I don't want to shout. I need some help. I need to figure out what does a man look like? What does sacrifice look like? How do I deal with all the trauma that I'm going through and still be a man? And how does she still view me as a godly man when I still have all of these boy wounds? And so I think a lot of times the aspect of biblical manhood can get overlooked. But truthfully, it's something I was thinking about and speaking about with my brothers. If we think about like the beginning, when the Lord gave Adam an instruction to dress and keep the garden and name all the animals, which I know you know, it's like one of his responsibilities was to really hand out identity.
Mm.
You're a monkey. You're a toucan. You're this. So, what happens in the home when the identity giver is not there? By default, it positions the home to engage in identity theft. Or what happens when the identity giver is the identity giver is in identity crisis. And so a lot of those things, bro, it affects the home. So simply put, when the kingdom man is in the home, not just does health happen to a bloodline, not just does health happen to a community, but to the world. It starts with him being in position, him being healthy, him being honest, him being vulnerable. So that's really one of my passions, is making sure that the kingdom man is edified as
Bro,
well.
that is
So yeah.
so that is so ridiculous. Number one, only Jerry Flowers, ladies and gentlemen, with all of the animals available, would pick a toucan. I don't know if I've ever said that word in my entire life, and that's what makes him different, and that's why he's going to be out at CryoutCon.
Yeah.
And you can go to cryoutcon.com and register right while we're doing this. Matter of fact, for all of you all, I'm going to be looking for those who will be registering while we're on, because I want to see because I know you're gonna move the needle.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call you and be like, bro, 500 people registered just because you was there. So let me ask you this. Okay, I'm just throwing questions
What's
out.
up?
All right, you got Adam and Eve in the garden, and
Mm-hmm.
and by the way, y'all, he don't even know what I'm getting ready to ask him. He has no idea. And somebody just say he cooked that fast. Absolutely, dude is a certified chef. He cooks. So look, Adam and Eve in the garden.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if I'm wrong or right. God says to Adam, be fruitful and multiply, name and rights, identity, right? Name everything. The enemy comes and tells Eve, I know what God said, but if you eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you won't surely die.
Yeah.
I always say that the first sin of man in the garden was not eating the fruit. I
Absolutely.
say that the first sin was silence,
Mm.
because Adam could have told Eve what God had said.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
And I think that's the danger of men allowing women to be test subjects. Okay, I know the Lord said we'll surely die. Let me see when she eat what happened. Let me see how she handles raising the children without me. Let me see how she handles the resources. And that's one of the plagues of the community. We allow sisters to be test subjects when God gave you the vision. He could immediately stop. Like, hey, hold up. What he's saying is in total contradiction, because the snake is telling her, like, you'll be like God. Yo, don't you remember we were already made in his image and his likeness?
Already like them. Already
Already
like
like
them.
him. And so I think that's one of the dangers of a man being silent, but then it's also one of the powers of a man being able to regurgitate what God told him. Hey, you don't have to do that. We're already like the Lord. We're already like the Lord. So his silence, exactly, his silence was the contributing factor that led to it. And I just think the danger is when a man does allow his lady to be a test subject.
Man,
Let
y'all
me see
gotta
how she
throw
handles
y'all gotta throw them fires in the chat, man. I see them
it.
coming up on the right, on the left. But you
Yeah.
just gave me an idea because, okay, God tells Adam what he tells Adam. It was Adam's job as the head to tell Eve what God said. We make our women test subjects. The enemy tells the woman that she will be like God. She already is like him. And so is it
Mhm.
possible that the original womb of a woman is the current wound of the woman? She's still being offered empty promises.
And that's it. What's the original lie of the enemy? You're not enough. That's why he said he ate the fruit. You're not enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not smart enough. You're not educated enough. You're not spiritual enough. You're not clean. And so then we still have a generation of ladies who are climbing this invisible ladder to try to taste this forbidden fruit. And then they'll extend it when the man, the whole time, he knew the Lord. He knew the Lord. He was dressing and keeping before she ever got on the scene. He was with, once again, the toucan before Eve ever arrived. He had an assignment. And bro, I think this is one of the dangers. He's called to dress and keep the garden, tend the garden. When a man does not dress and keep the garden, meaning his relationship with the Lord, his obedience, his assignment, when he doesn't tend the garden, he won't know how to be tender to his wife
Mm, mm.
because his assignment is already being violated. So if you're not tender, then you're not listening, then you're not reinforcing what God told you. Now we have a broken home. And
Jerry, you are phenomenal, bro.
praise the Lord,
You
man.
You are phenomenal, man. You are phenomenal. I could listen to you all day. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue our conversation. This is Pastor Jerry Flowers. Some people saying, where he from? Houston, Texas. We own him, y'all. He
Yeah.
is a Houston boy. Don't try to steal him. The city needs him. The city needs him. He has a thriving ministry. He and his lovely wife and children. He's a family man. He's a man of God. Look him up and follow him on Instagram because you will not be disappointed. Cry Out Con. It's a conference that is geared towards helping you to come as you are, but not leaving like you came. Jerry Flowers, Latrice Ryan. You got John Hanna. That's the church. Move over. You got DC Youngfly. You got Kurt Franklin, Madison Ryan Ward. You've got Stephen Speaks. You've got if I start naming people, the folks that I don't name gonna get mad at me because I can't even. Deion Sanders. We got all of these people who are going to be there. I'll be there. Lady Shawnee's going to be there, and you're going to be there because you're going to go to cryoutcon.com right now, and you're going to register. And I want you to follow CryOutCom on our page for more updates. Let me ask you this, man.
Yes, sir.
So you said identity.
Hmm.
I often think because Adam got his identity from our Heavenly Father.
Correct.
God told him who he was. You are. He bends into the ground and he breathes into the dust, the breath of life, and man becomes a living soul. But from there, it was Adam that told Eve who she was. You're bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. It was Adam who told the toucan,
Yes. Yeah.
who the two. It was Adam that said, "Lion, you're lion."
Yeah.
Is it? Is it possible that I could get you just for a moment to let men know like, this ain't no meeting for just women? Because
Yeah.
typically when we have these conferences, you got 80, 90% of the house filled with women. But what can men get,
Yeah.
at least from you,
Yeah.
when you come?
So two things I'm big on, and that's making sure that we are spiritually healed and that you're the version of yourself that God created for you to be. If I could just share a revelation real quick that really rocked me, bro. I remember I was reading before we know this passage. Before you in your mother's womb, I knew you. And then later, Jesus says in Matthew, many on that day will say, Lord, Lord, did we not do this and that in your name? He'll say, depart from me, I never knew you. And so I remember I was battling with that, bro. Like, okay, before you in your mother's womb, I knew you. Depart from me, I never knew you. Until God just gave me the revelation, it's possible for you to become a you that I never created for you to be.
You're gonna make me drop this phone. I'm gonna I'm gonna leave you here, y'all. I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Y'all talk to Jerry. I'll be back. What, man?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the dangers is when we aren't the kingdom man that we originally were called to be. And so in this conference, I know what's on my heart is really try to help men take off the layers of who culture said that you should be, the high value man of who Instagram said you should be. What does the scripture say the biblical manhood looks like? And I want to be the kingdom man so that I could be the myself that the Lord called me to be. And that's something I really think is going to edify the brothers. Like, forget all the facade, forget your muscles, forget your cars, forget who are you, and the you that you are doesn't line up with the you that God called you to be.
See, I think in some regards, all criticism is warranted in some way. You know, men, we get criticism for being XYZ. Women get criticism for being XYZ. We're gonna create this safe space right now for the next couple minutes. We're gonna listen and not judge, right? It's gonna be we're gonna there's some women on this call right now. They
Mhm.
are these are good women.
Yeah,
Wrapped up in the the reputation of what womanhood is like in this day and time. But these are good women.
yeah.
What's your advice to a good woman who's just trying? She got a husband, she's got a boyfriend, she just trying. She needs a little advice. What's your advice for her?
Well, I think first is who it, like when you say trying, I would want to know, what are you trying? Because sometimes you're already doing what you're called to do. You just got to continue to do it. Like, faithfulness doesn't mean something different. It means the same continuously. So I would really just challenge, like, what is the trying that you're trying to do? And could you be doing exactly what the Lord wants you to do, but culture's making you think you need to do more? And there's not more that you need to do. I want my husband to change. What do I have to do? Maybe just be the same. Maybe you're not insecure, you're stable. You're stable. And it's that stability of doing the same. I'm trying to do this fitness regimen with my instructor, and he said, man, the secret is the same. Eat the same. It's like, if you eat the same, you'll look different. If you eat different, you'll look like everybody else. And so maybe just sometimes I would just really define, what does trying look like for you?
Well,
Because maybe you don't need to do anything different. Go ahead.
real Kyra, she said, well, what if she's single? So what is the role of the woman who's single? What is her role in helping to curate and create or assist a kingdom man? Like, what can she
Bro,
do? Because everybody's not in a relationship. So what do they do?
you start a whole nother conversation, bro. Because it's like, okay, first identify there's a level of help he only gets when he's called your husband. When a sister doesn't get that, she will confuse she'll confuse her contribution as confirmation. Oh, I help him. He just might need help, period. But that's not necessarily your husband. So I think in that lane, you have to be careful to make sure that you're not trying to give wife benefits to somebody who doesn't view you as a wife. Does that
You
make sense?
crazy. It makes perfect sense. Miss
Yeah.
Tony said, she says, I'm 56. I'm trying to date. It's hard because most men want submissive women
Hmm.
and not submitting to God. I think what she's basically saying is like most men just want you to submit to them
Yeah.
and not submit to God. What would you say to that?
Submission is never demanded, it's modeled.
I'm not finna fool with you. All right, that's gonna be enough. Now y'all see how he cooks. The dude keeps the skillet on, like he can spit it out at any time. If you think that you're going to be able to stay home from cry out and watch it online and get everything, you got another thing coming because all of the sessions won't be streamed. I think that there has to be some value given to the people who decided, I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to make the sacrifice. I'm going to get the airplane ticket. I'm going to get the hotel room, and I'm going to let the Lord add back to me. We are going to be at the George R. Brown Convention Center in downtown Houston,
Mm.
May 1st through the 3rd, and we're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun. It is the place where culture is going to meet faith, and day passes are available. So if you're going to attend on Friday, if you're going to attend on Saturday, those day passes are available. Last question with this phenomenal man of God. And Pastor, I want to let you know this Zoom, this live incrementally continues to grow because people are saying, hey, y'all, you need to get on and listen to
Yes.
what this dude is saying. I don't ever want you to discount what God put inside of you. I
Thank you, bro.
told you that when in one room, I never will forget, in that room, it was myself, it was you, it was Darius
Mm.
Daniels, who is a freaking preaching
Yeah.
machine. Mike Todd, Carl Lynch. We got all these people in the room. And I remember everybody looking at you because they knew of you, but they didn't know you. And by
Yeah.
the time we were finished, everybody knew who you were.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
am I telling the
Yes,
truth?
sir.
And
Yeah.
the reason why is because the thing that is inside of you is so for real that it cannot be denied.
Thanks, bro.
I don't ever want you to forget what I just said, because there are going to come times, if they haven't already come, that you will look in the mirror and it will be hard for you to follow the advice that you give to others, because we are good at telling other people that they can do anything, and then we will get in our own private space and feel like we're doing
Yeah.
nothing. You are amazing.
Thank
You are amazing, and you fight this good fight because God has uniquely stamped you. I'm going to ask you one last question. And
you.
guys, don't forget to go to cryoutcon.com May 1st through the 3rd in Houston, Texas. I need you to make sure you are there, because don't embarrass me, y'all. Don't let me bring all these people in there and I be in there by myself.
Yeah.
And if I'm gonna tell you something about Jerry and I, if we're in there by ourselves, we still gonna preach. If we're in there
Right.
by ourselves, we still gonna preach, but we're not. Thousands have already
Yeah.
registered. Our goal is to sell the room out. We are almost there. And be quick on those day passes, because the seats are allocated already for those who have fully registered. There are not many seats for day passes. So if you're going to do it, don't ponder, don't guess. It is less than $100. I think it might be $89 for a day pass. It may be somewhere around $89, $99. I'm not sure. Our team just did it because when we were getting ready for this live, people were asking us, and so they jumped in there and did it. All right, guys. Last question,
Yes, sir.
and ladies, you are I'll ask this from the male's perspective. And we just had a moment at our church that was transformational. There's a guy on right now. He's Quezzy. He works at our West Campus, and we had a not your typical rodeo edition. It was a Bible study,
Yeah.
and he got up and he said that what do you do when you have this complex where you can't really accept acceptance, and you feel rejected and all. And I'm messing up his words, but it was like he said, I got this issue that I'm always seeking for attention. See, women are typically better at expressing those things than we are.
Yeah.
What would you say to a man who has lived this life, didn't have a father tell him who he was, has had children trying to show them who they should be, but he really doesn't know who he is?
Yeah.
Where does he start so that he doesn't abandon his assignment?
Well, there are two things I want to answer it quickly. I think first, when he said he's looking for like almost that affirmation, I believe that sometimes we get hurt in that area because we don't have wisdom with relational management. So, a relational management skill I live by, you possibly heard of it. Jesus spoke to thousands, sent out 72, selected 12, but was vulnerable with three. Every man has to have his Peter, James, and John. I gotta have my three. And if you're looking for affirmation from the thousands, you're gonna be a puppet. If you're looking for affirmations from the 72, those the people that you work with, you're gonna be a slave to their views, their subscriptions. If you're looking for it in the 12, Judas is there so you can get wounded and not want to, confess or be vulnerable with anybody. But if you can identify who are the people I could be vulnerable with, like the Lord did in the Garden of Gethsemane, I'm overwhelmed to the point of death. I could be vulnerable here. I think that's the first thing, having a vulnerable space. And the second thing is really just stripping off the layers of what culture said a manhood is. I think that's what a lot of brothers are battling with. What is a man? What is a good man? Am I a good man? I didn't have all this. Sometimes not having that made you better because it would have been worse if they were there. Now I have to have the relationship with the Lord to learn Him for myself. So I just would really encourage men to be able to understand you don't want affirmation from everywhere. Understanding that in the end, it's the accepted who get rejected. So a form of rejection is showing like, yo, I'm doing it the king's way. Because in the end, in the ultimate end, those who are accepted here get rejected. And those who are rejected here get accepted.
That's bars, bro. That's just bars. Listen to what he said, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just take let's just take a Rolls Royce. Okay,
Hmm.
that Rolls Royce is sitting on the lot right now. You ain't never seen a Rolls Royce commercial,
Yeah.
but they're not. Their customers don't buy their cars from TV,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they price it the way they price it because they intentionally want a certain group of people to reject it.
That's good, bro.
And being rejected by a certain group of people is what contributes to the value of those who can accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
The moment everybody can afford you, the cheaper your cost will be.
Bro, bro. Look, it just real quick. Think about Ruth. She said, "Let me go glean in the field, in whose sight I may find
Yeah.
favor." What was she saying? If they don't accept me, I don't have favor with them. Bet. But let me go to the place where I see the favor is, because that's where I'm supposed to be. What a perspective shift if we view rejection as that's not my field.
Yeah. And Boaz says, not only are you in the right field,
Come on.
Boaz tells his workers, whatever she gleans,
Right.
and whatever is dropped, let her keep the
Yes,
extras.
sir.
Bro, I preached a sermon on that. The Lord gave me a revelation on that because etymology, when you look back at the etymology of the word, pardon my misspeaking, everybody, the etymology of the word, the context of the story, it isn't an accident that Boaz is related
Yeah.
to Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
And Orpah, she goes back. She's like, I ain't going.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm done. I'm done. Ruth said, wherever you go, I'm going. Your God gonna be my God.
Yeah.
Boaz is related to Naomi. It is not an accident that she was faithful to the woman who was related through her husband who had died
Mm-hmm.
to the man who would eventually say, you're in the right field.
Yes, sir.
So then it begs to be discussed that you got to make sure that whatever season you're in your life right now, that you treat that person as if they have the keys to your future. They may not. But had she not been faithful to Naomi, Naomi could have told her nephew, her cousin, whoever he was, to like, nah, don't fool with her, because I done spent some years with her. She wasn't faithful. Right? She wasn't faithful. So when you get into that field, here's what I'm saying. When you get in that field that's prepared for you,
Mm-hmm.
you better be prepared for it.
Yeah. So good. And then also I'll just add to this. Let Malon die.
Mm.
That was Ruth's first husband. We don't remember her because what God did next was so big that we forget about the former thing. Malon had to die so that she could get with Boaz, so that they could have Obed, so that Obed could have Jesse, which leads to the genealogy of Jesus.
Get off my
Something
phone. Get off my phone.
you started, bro.
Get off my phone. Get off my phone. Because come from Jesse comes David, and Jesus is the son of David. Have mercy on me, man. What an amazing conversation. I love you, man.
Love you too.
Everybody go to cryoutcon.com. Register right now. You just heard. See, if you think you heard what Jerry Flowers is going to do, you are mistaken. That boy been holding back. He just gave you a little ice, and he did not give you the recipe. Come see my brother. The day passes are available. Go to cryoutcon.com right now. Pastor Jerry, you got any final words?
Just thank you, bro. Thank you for who you are, man. Thank you for this opportunity, and I'm glad to be a
Hey
part
man,
of
I
it. Love
love you. I'm sharing this on my Instagram. Like, I'm saving this. I'm
you. Yeah,
saving
love you,
this.
man.
Y'all tell everybody about this. All right, I love you, man. Take
Love
care,
you
boy.
too. All right.
All right, peace.
Bye bye.